Hey everyone, Tin Man here. I'm back with some more Dota Underlords. We're going to be playing some ranked standard mode here. And we got my favorite unit here up on turn 1. We got a Legion Commander. I do love me some Legion Commander builds. Not a whole lot great to build around here. Maybe Tusk and Venomancer are probably the two best individual units, even though we don't get any alliances with her. We could pick up the Crystal Maiden for the Human Alliance right off the bat, but that's not particularly great with Legion Commander. I mean, it does let her cast her duel a little bit early. But that's sometimes actually a detriment because you don't really want her to duel early enough. You want it to do later into the fight whenever you have the potential to actually kill off the target. So I think Tusk and Venomancer are probably just the stronger individual units here. And, you know, it's unlikely Legion Commander gets a dual win here on this first turn of the game, but there's some chance of it. Does not look like she's going to get it because our damage was kind of split. Actually, she feeds a dual win away. Kind of worst case scenario, but got to take some risks when you're playing Legion Commander. You know, sometimes you get the free dual win, and sometimes your opponents get it. Anyway, so we'll pick up the Warlock here. Even though Bloodseeker has been nerfed recently, the Bloodbound Alliance is still pretty darn strong, at least in the early game, and especially with Legion Commander. I'm going to pick up Voidstone here. Now, this doesn't really go with at most Legion Commander focused builds, but it does go well with Venomancer into like a Summoner style build, just letting him pump out lots of Plague Wards on cooldown every time. And we see some other Summoners here, and a Bloodseeker. So on one hand, I'm thinking like I want to do something like this, where we, you know, try to just get Legion Commander a dual win, but I also kind of want to pick up these Summoners and maybe go towards a more like Summoner-focused build. So I'm not entirely sure what direction we're going to take this. Our opponent has a Bloodseeker. Do they also have a... I guess I can't tell. I was going to say they have an Ogre Cap. Yeah, they've got an Ogre Cap on the Weaver. But luckily, we do get a dual win on our Legion Commander, even if we lose the overall fight. Let's use our free reroll here, and nothing in this deck really goes towards any of the directions we are kind of looking at. I actually do rather like Savages if we're going Summoners. I do know Drow Ranger is very good in the meta right now, but yeah, we've played a lot of Hunters recently. Let's give something else a try here. Well, we see Legion Commander. There is Bat Rider, which does go pretty well towards Legion Commander style comps, like you throw in some Knights around her. I'm actually going to throw an Ogre Magi. I think Ogre Magi is probably a touch better than Bloodseeker now after his recent nerf, especially this early on in the game, if we're just using him for a Bloodbound unit. And I'll pick up the Bat Rider here. Abaddon also can go into like a Knights style build. The fact that I've got two Legion Commanders and she already has a dual win, I don't think she's going to win this duel though. She's going to lose the duel to the Lesser Treant. I think I'd rather sell off some of these Summoners and pick up that Abaddon, use the free reroll. Well, hindsight, I guess I wish I had kept some of the Summoners for that second Nature's Prophet, but that's alright. We do take the win here with a big Bloodbound the Ogre Magi, pulling down a lot of the damage there. And we found a 2-star Legion Commander. Okay, so off to a good start here. Hopefully she can rack up a couple more bigger dual wins now. Scouting around, no one else has picked up any copies of her, so I think that's pretty well available for us. Like I said, Bloodbound is a pretty good like early alliance for her to rack up some kills, but I do think it falls off towards the later stages of the game. You might still run Mr. Warlock just in a Knights focus build just for the Warlock and Healer alliance, but not really thrilled about the other units, the other like Bloodbounds past the mid game. Unfortunately, we do take a loss there against an opponent who has leveled up, so we don't really have a good streak one way or another, win or loss. Legion Commander did not get a dual win because she missed like 3 attacks in a row thanks to the insects. Always happy with the Vanguard. It's a pretty good pickup. Just make your front line a little bit tankier, especially on Ogre Magi for trying to win fights, or probably just on Legion Commander actually. She scales well with the Champion Alliance, giving 8% more HP out of that. Do you find the 2-star Mr. Warlock? And just hesitating, like I kind of like him at 1-star just to die quickly as a Bloodbound, but I think it's still fine to pick up a 2-star copy of him, sell him off, Especially with the Void Stone on him, he's going to be able to cast his Shadow Word much more reliably and much more frequently. Especially if he doesn't actually die very quickly early on in the fight. Hopefully Legion Commander can actually get a duel off here. There we go. I don't think he's going to win in time, because none of my Bloodbounds have died. Wow. Even when we get a nice, well, what seemed like a pretty nice duel, she still can't get the duel win, because nobody died. Kind of want to position Ogre Magi so that he definitely takes the brunt and dies quickly. Well, we do still see a lot of Bloodseekers. We've seen a lot of Bloodseekers. I think I'll pick it up. I mean, maybe Bloodseeker is still a thing. Oop. I want to sell that off just to clear up a bench spot. Still holding on to these knights, but with how just the sheer quantity of units that we're picking up here, bloodbound units rather that we're picking up here. I don't know. There might be an argument to go an actual bloodbound composition. I kind of don't really like that idea, though. I think Bloodseeker is weak enough, and with Legion Commander, she doesn't really want the Deadeye Alliance trait. Yeah, there's double Abaddon. I think we're just going to stick with the Legion Commander and into like a Knights style build. You know, for right now, we'll throw this Bloodseeker in there. Maybe that helps Legion Commander get another kill or two, dual win. But I do think we're going to look to transition away from that and into a more Knights-focused build. Getting rid of the Bloodbound at some later point in the game here. Legion Commander should get a dual win here. Perfect. Perfect timing there. Mr. Warlock actually pulling down a lot of good DPS here, just constantly casting on time with that Void Stone. Void Stone also goes well into Knights builds. It goes very well on Necrophos, who kind of has the same kind of issue later on, where he has a short cooldown but doesn't gain mana very quickly. At the end of combat, we'll buy both Abaddons, get that to 2-star, and then maybe look to transition over to a couple of Knights here. There we go. We're up to level 4, so we can at least throw in the Abaddon, or we can throw in the Chaos Knight. I mean, we could do both. That would get rid of the Bloodbound Alliance, or we'd have to level up. I think actually throw in the Chaos Knight first. I think that Demon Alliance is going to be a little bit better for ensuring Legion Commander gets a kill. Oh, our opponent is going for a similar-ish build. They have Legion Commander a little bit late to the party for them, but they do have an Ogre cap on the Chaos Knight, which is pretty impactful for this style of build, to be able to fit in the Bloodbound with just a single Warlock there. And we do take that loss. Let's use our free reroll. Pick another Bloodseeker, but like I said, looking to get rid of that sooner rather than later. Okay, so, you know, maybe not the greatest of shape right here. Kind of middle of the pack in terms of health total and gold total. I'll pick up the Desolator. That's just always a good item I'm always happy to have. It actually goes pretty well in Legion Commander to ensure that her duels are very effective. We're finally getting up to 15 gold for interest. It's a little bit late, and yeah, our net worth is not nearly what it could be. Some people above 80s. I don't think these Ogre Magis are going to come together. I want to pick up the Luna, the Dazzle, use a free reroll. We find another Legion Commander. That's pretty good. At what point am I ditching these Bloodbounds, though, and just going for more Knights? It's probably in the next couple turns here, and fortunately she took way too long and just fed a dual win to their Abaddon. She is really struggling with this whole winning duels issue. Alright, I think we probably want to start getting rid of these Bloodbounds to an extent. In terms of Underlords, I really like a Nessex anytime I'm playing a Legion Commander build just for the extra demon. Her summon plus her golem all count as demons. So it just really ramps up that demon alliance. So I'm pretty much going to pick a Nessex in any version of a Legion Commander build. I think we're moving away from these Bloodseekers because they don't synergize well with the Legion. Let's just sell those off. Use our free reroll. We find another Chaos Knight. Does that make sense though? I probably actually should have leveled up to 5 by now. Or 6. I'm going to go up against level 6 opponent. I'm going to get crushed here. They're at level 6 and on a massive win streak. So that's alright. I'm going to sell off this excess Warlock because I know I'm not going to go that way. And we're just going to at least level to 5 for next turn. And maybe more. And maybe more shortly. Unfortunately, they got to complete their win streak and deal 13 to me. Jeez, that hurts. That really hurts. So with this level up, I think we can get some trolls in here. That helps a lot with Legion Commander to attack a little bit faster as she counts as a troll. Could grab the Wind Rangers for some Heartless instead, but I think I like the trolls. Let's take a free reroll. More Shadow Shamans. Not really the troll I'm looking for in this style of build. Really just these two, or maybe Dazzle instead of the Witch Doctor at some point. Need to organize my bench a little bit better. And it's actually pretty good there. So despite dropping, pretty low at the moment, I think once we get a couple levels up, and we're close to the last couple of upgrades here, we're close to a Chaos Knight and a Bat Rider upgrade. I think if we get those two, this build actually gets to be reasonably strong at level 6. We get up to maybe 4 Knights, maybe if we get a Luna upgrade as well. And there are a couple other people on Knights, so those upgrades may not be quite as forthcoming. We do find the Bat Rider here. I kind of want to level up here on this turn, but I'm gonna be short if I want to grab interest since I did just win. I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait a turn. I did just win the last round, so I'm gonna be on a trying to get on a win streak here, but I guess I didn't need to spend that last 5 gold there. Oops, because I was about to get 1 for the end of this round. Legion Commander dueling Jull. Oh my god, that's the worst. She's so bad. Feeding duel into their Underlord is like the worst one to feed it to. Especially a really tanky one like Jull. Most opponents here are probably going to be getting up to 7 right after this. So I probably should consider doing the same. There's a Battle Fury. That works pretty well with a lot of our attacking units. Probably better than Yule Scepter. We already have a mana item. This can go on like Chaos Knight, for instance. Take a free reroll. Not a lot here. I can throw in a Warlock, give him the Void Stone instead. And do I level up to 7? Nah, I can wait. My health total is gonna be pretty bad this game. We're gonna drop low before we stabilize, and with a lot of other people on a Knights build, maybe this isn't the greatest. But unfortunately, my opponent's Legion Commander cast her duel first, and then so they got the demon bonus, and that's gonna beat us for sure. And they have a 2-star Chaos Knight who's massive. Yeah, I think maybe for this style build we really need an Ogre cap. But we don't have one at the moment. That's all right. We'll pull this back. Don't you worry. We will get this one back under control. I'm gonna level up here just to try to stem the bleeding because we are definitely bleeding. Pick up Legion Commander. Use a free reroll. We got a lot of alliances online now with the 2 Warlocks. I was hoping for a Necrophos to kind of get the healer and the Warlock all in one. So this will be functional. We're down to 40, like I said, or 44, but I have faith that we can turn this ship around. I actually realized my position might be a little bit bad because an Essex is going to summon her companion, and if she summons before Legion Commander moves out, Legion Commander might be stuck in the corner behind it, which would obviously be no good if we're trying to build a build around her. We do take the win against this opponent, who's also on a losing streak, so maybe not the greatest of achievements here, but we'll take it. Not in last. We want to move a Nessex, I think, over a step to the left here. This way she won't summon the companion right in the way of the Legion Commander. Okay. Yeah, we just see 3 people of us all get knight upgrades. Man, people got really really heavily contesting these knights here in the mid game. Even though only one of them is on the Legion Commander style build, there's a lot on knights. Still a very popular build, despite you know, hunters kind of ruling the meta. Knights are still pretty decent as well. That's a 2-star Sven in particular. That's a big one. I haven't even seen like any tier 4 units except, you know, like this Doom just now. Legion Commander cannot quite get the duel win. Come on, 1 auto short. Not even 1 auto, it's like 50 damage short. Half an auto. This one's going to be a long slugfest here. I think the Warlock might actually be able to get it. Healing up the Golem. No. Their Golem's going to win. Alright, fair enough. 1 damage loss. Free reroll for 1 health. I'll take it. Hey, another 2-star Legion Commander and a pair of Svens. Can I get a 2-star Sven as well? Nah, never lucky. Alright, so what do I want to do with this build? Is this gonna go? So I want like a Necrophos over this Mr. Warlock, and then maybe replace the Witch Doctor with the Dazzle, or just keep one of them. I'm not sure which one I want for my Troll. Or I guess in theory we could cut the Batrider, keep both Witch Doctor and Dazzle. That way we get Warlocks and healers in here. It can also be a viable strategy. I do kind of feel like I need some rerolls to make sure I can get some 2 stars up in here. I think we're probably just going to have 4 knights. I don't think 6 knights is really going to come together. So maybe that is the replacing the Batrider strategy. We just get to level 8. Where we can replace Batrider with Sven. Refresher Orb, unfortunately, is not that great in this style build. Butterfly is pretty good, though, on the Legion Commander, so I will definitely take that. Can move a Desolator over to, I guess, the Luna here. So my goal here is to get to level 8 next turn, and then probably just reroll like everything at level 8. I don't think level 9 is going to be really in the cards for this style of build, or like this at this point in the game, just because we are so far behind in terms of health total and everything. So we're just get to level 8, try to get a 3-star Legion, 3-star, really just a 3-star Legion, along with 2 stars on everybody else. We're probably going to take 1 more loss here. Hopefully it's not by too much. Unfortunately, it's a big summoner build, but we should be able to get a couple of these units down, a couple of these opponents dead. The Legion Commander should win a duel here. We're pretty late to the party to win another duel, but I'll take it. Alright, let's level up to 8. Okay, we took 13. Well, that's not ideal. Alright, can put in a second Legion Commander for the moment till we find the Necrophos, then we can make some swaps. And hopefully that'll be good enough. Although, if I'm being honest, I'm not that optimistic. Alright. Especially with how contested every one of the knights are. We find a Medusa, who's probably just a better standalone unit who can hold this Desolator. But yeah, let's roll. Find a Luna, find a Sven. Oh, there's the Necrophos. Okay, I've got swaps to make. I just gotta wait till next turn. Ran out of time.
This sorry lot's got what it takes.
Alright, so the plan is we're going to cut the Medusa, the Bat Rider, the Warlock for Sven, Dazzle, Necrophos. I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, Medusa's kind of okay, honestly, with the Desolator. And the fact that everyone's going to be nice and stacked up around us, that she actually just stuns everybody. But I still think we can do better getting, like, a bunch of alliances online otherwise. And we need that 2-star Luna at some point. You know, before we get eliminated, like, next turn. Alright, so Sven with this, Necrophos, Dazzle? There we go, that's the stuff. Another Medusa, not what we need. Legion Commanders are what we need. And Lunas and Chaos Knights, not Abaddons. Alright, did not quite get there. Not with everything, but one away from the 3-star Legion Commander, which would be the big Crown Achievements build. Unfortunately, we're up against the big win streaker. Well, if we can just avoid taking 11 at least. I mean, we might actually win with... We did kind of get a lot of our key upgrades online. They have a double bear Lone Druid Summoner. Well, I guess it's not really a Summoner build, but... it's kind of getting there. We lose this, right? But just barely. Not by 11. So you're saying there's a chance. 4 HP comeback. 4 HP in a dream. That's where we're at. I believe. I believe that we can get this done. There's a Witch Doctor. Come on, Chaos. Okay. Not the Legion Commander I was hoping for, but I'll take it. There's a Dazzle there. It's kind of lower priority. Do this kind of a formation. Alright. Yeah. I'm just gonna run it back from 4 HP all the way into first place. Just watch. I mean, it would have really helped if we got the 2-star Legion Commander that turn. And if we weren't up against a 2-star Tidehunter. But, you know, I'm not one to complain. Oh, maybe. These Knights are getting real annoying. Legion Commander did get her dual win, then he got stunned, but we're shredding through them. We do punch through and deliver a pretty big hit, 16 damage back to them. Problem is, that they were nice and stacked up for Sven to do a lot of damage. I don't know if every other build's going to be quite as stacked up like they were. Particularly concerned about running just this player again. And just getting crushed. We do find a Vladimir's offering. This item is insane for what we're trying to do. Just be very tanky and just like push forward on them. So slap that on the Chaos Knight, who should be pretty survivable. And then just let our guys just crash forward. Alright. There's the Legion! Sweet, we got there. Alright, we got a 3-star Legion. Let us see if this is the the turning point that we need. I am cautiously optimistic that we can pull this back despite having a relatively lackluster game for the most part. If we can get there from here. The thing is, we don't have too many upgrades we could find now at this level. We can get the Dazzle, maybe the Necrophos. So I'm kind of like thinking that I may want to look at another level up, perhaps. Level up to 9. That may be like our next best plan, is just to get the level up to 9. Rather than just reroll here. I mean, that costs a good chunk of gold, but we can make it up in a few turns here. And then at that point, maybe we look for Scaled. There's nobody really on mages, though, so maybe Scaled's not the best pick. I mean, I don't think Vigilant is either, but we're just looking for more alliances. In any case, I don't really feel the need to reroll until we like maybe naturally find a Necrophos. Then I can say, okay, I'm going to reroll for a Necrophos 2-star. But I think I'm just going to sit on the gold, and hopefully we can just carry these fights off the back of the Legion Commander enough to open up our options a bit more. Run into some of the other Knights players, and maybe if we eliminate them, that frees up some of the Necrophos and some of the other units for us. Close win there on the duel. I think that'll let us march forward. Our guys are really tanky. This Vladimir's Offering, I think, was a huge turning point. It's really just such an insane item for this style of build that just relies on being stacked up and being tanky and being healing, and you know, the damage output is a little bit low. You know, Legion Commander does a lot of damage, and maybe Luna does too, but it's not quite as much as, say, Hunters or like Assassins or Mages that are like built around single focus damage. So having a little bit of damage amp from Vladimir's Offering really covers a lot of the bases and really reinforces the strength of this style of build. So we at least outlasted one opponent. It's a, you know, small achievement here. I mean, realistically, you know, there's only 2 people that are like kind of safe in terms of life total. Everybody else is like, in theory, could take one huge loss and get eliminated. 1 or 2 big losses, I guess. Obviously, we're in a one-shot kind of range, but we're up against one of the players at 56 life, so this one could be a little bit rough. And despite all the Knights competition, I think that we saw somebody had a did have a 3-star Chaos Knight, which is pretty darn impressive. Our Legion Commander is gonna get a dual win here. She's scaling up, has 113 bonus damage, and yeah, our board is just so tanky and just can run over all of these other Knights style builds. We were just stronger with the Legion Commander. 20 damage to them. Somebody else got eliminated, and yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic we can at least climb maybe into top 3 or top 4 and avoid some sort of elimination here. Our gold is also ramping up pretty nicely with the win streak. We're up to above 30 already. So we don't quite have enough to level up just yet, but next turn we can. It costs 35. And then we'll have a little bit of excess gold to throw around somewhere. Hopefully on re-rolling into Medusa, you know, to get that Desolator back. I mean, I kind of wish I had kept it now that I didn't know that we would get to this point, of course, where our next best thing was just leveling up. Despite all the people on Knights, this person did get a 3-star Chaos Knight, so I'm definitely afraid of that. That being said, our Legion Commander got her duel off, and then he's pretty darn powerful and is tanking this Chaos Knight pretty well. Yeah, like, Chaos Knight, like, 3-star Chaos Knight versus 3-star Legion Commander. I like the Legion Commander with the Butterfly. I really do, as we just march forward on them and knock them out and put all those Chaos Knights back in the pool. Boom, alright, moving on up in the world. And this player may get eliminated. Nice. Hey, we made top 4. You know, we were down to 4 life with 8 players left alive. And I think we're on track to make a maybe 2nd place. Depends if who we run up to. So, not a big fan of any of these items. Like Dagon's not great. I already have a mana item. Refresh Orb doesn't help a lot. I guess I just take a Cadence Blade. A second Vladimir's Offering does not stack. It kind of, like, you know, extends the radius, essentially. I'm just going to drop this on the Witch Doctor, and then just to get a little bit of benefit there. I actually think probably Templar Assassin is probably a little bit better. Get Vigilant Alliance in here. I don't really need the magic resist against anybody. Cadence Blade's pretty good because we know at least one of the opponents is pretty tanky. They've got a lot of like high health targets. So Witch Doctor also attacks pretty fast when you consider the troll bonus. Unfortunately, they pudge my Nesix despite her being kind of in the middle of everybody. That being said, I still think we are okay. Maybe Legion Commander stunned forever. Marana Arrow. Nah, Sven's still good. Luna, come on! Oh, Witch Doctor. The big Witch Doctor stun just... When there's just 2 people, Witch Doctor stuns both of them for like 5 or 6 seconds. It's amazing. And this should knock him out. Hey, look at that. Top 3. Don't call it a comeback, but I think we had a pretty good comeback here. Alright, down to the last 2 players. Unfortunately, the lower health opponent won in that exchange, the other Knights player, so neither of those two is kind of at risk of being eliminated, so I kind of need to win at least 2 rounds. Oh, Medusa, much better option here. I'm going to put Medusa with a Desolator. Oh, no, Medusa with Cadence Blade. What am I thinking? Cool, Medusa with Cadence Blade. Maybe not the best spot for her, because she might get focused down a little bit. I should probably put, like, Witch Doctor in front of her. But it kind of worked, actually, because she retreated back. I don't know how or why she did that. She just walked backwards, but that was actually perfect. As Medusa gets a big stun off and is pretty well protected, and she is just going to carry this fight in addition to the Legion Commander. And we do a big number onto our enemy here for 22 damage. And we're also facing, our Ghost is facing this other board. I think we're stronger than them. Oh, nice. We're beating both of them. Alright, let's do better. I think, honestly, just like a Medusa positioning like this is a little bit better. Something like that, perhaps. I'm just going to reroll for a 2-star Medusa. Or a 2-star Necrophos. Don't need this Templar Assassin. We've seen so many Templar Assassins. No Necrophos, though. Oh well. Alright. Sure. I kind of like where this is going. This is working. Oh, you know why Legion Commander probably won backwards? Or the Medusa went backwards last fight? Was to get in range of the Vladimir's Offering. Because it's marked kind of like as a beneficial cell. The radius of that aura, so she's gonna like walk backwards to get into range of it, which was really useful, obviously. Opponent's Legion Commander's out of control. Onto our backline. I mean, so is ours, but like, I don't know who wins this. I think theirs does somehow. No! 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 3rd place! Oh, it was so good. I mean, I can't really complain with how weak we were for so much of that game. To pull that back into 3rd place was just, I mean, I consider that a success. I'm a little disappointed at the way it ended. You know, I thought maybe we had actually a shot because we just beat both of them the previous turn, but I guess they found some more upgrades. Both of them had better economies. We were able to get up to level 10 and you know, have more robust builds and also a bigger health total buffer to really play with. So, you know, I said a few turns back that there's 2 players with enough health total to outlast me, and it looks like they managed to, but what a good comeback, though. I'll definitely take it. Let's watch this. This game might end on this round here, whether the Knights or the Hunters build takes it. Looks like the Hunter build is going to take it, but it's not going to end the game, I don't think. I don't think this would be 21 damage. Looks like Hunters are still quite strong here. Let's take a look at their Knights build just to compare and contrast to ours, just as a bit of a learning experience here. So they're also running a pretty similar build, you know, 4 Knights plus Legion Commander. Of course, they've got a 2-star Necrophos, which is better than my 1-star. But they had the 2-star Legion Commander. About the same amount of dual damage, but because they picked up the early Ogre cap, they're able to much more effectively splash the 4 healers and put in Mr. Warlock. If you don't have an early Ogre cap, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to put the Mr. Warlock in the late game. Even for Bloodbound, I mean, it works well with Legion Commander, but you're kind of just left in a weird spot, and it doesn't really help to run 4 healers, or, you know, without the Bloodbound alliance, and you don't really want to play into the other Bloodbounds. I'm kind of curious that last second positioning adjustment where they moved the Legion Commander up front. Maybe it's just sacrificing, just saying, okay, Chaos Knight's going to carry the fight. We don't need Legion Commander to carry, but that's a very risky proposition. It did not work out for them. I don't know what their last second position adjustment was all about there. That got them crushed here. Looks like the Hunters do eventually take it in the end here, knocking out the Knights as well. So anyway, a good game, a pretty good comeback. Could not quite finish it out and get 1st place. And still, Heartless Hunters, still a pretty good composition. Who would have thought? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had a blast, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.